Welcome to Free Fall RC Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of Free Fall RC Podcast. I'm Steve, and here with me is Kevin,
Hey guys.
Andy,
Hey now.
and Ian.
Hey, what's up, guys?
All right, we got two special guest hosts on the show. We got Dan Murnane and Tom Shin.
Hey.
What's up?
All right, what's up, guys?
All right.
This is episode 313, Nitro Raw HD with Dan and Tom in the morning. Kinda
Dan
long,
and
huh?
Tom in the morning.
Dan and Tom in the morning. Yeah, it's a little bit long, but all right. Let's catch up with everyone's week first. Who wants to go?
Not me.
I can go
Go ahead, Kevin.
since I have so much written down.
Hmm.
I have not flown any this week. I did not sim. I did build on the Spectre V2 a little bit. Going kind of slow at it. Not quite Steve Shaw slow, but pretty slow nonetheless. I'm maybe half done. But I did get, thanks to a listener, I was able to order a bunch of Revolectrix bump tags.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I found, had one guy give me a contact overseas and was kind of half pursuing that, but not really because I kind of didn't want to deal with it. But some listeners posted on Facebook a link to JAG RC, JAC JAG RC. You'd think I would know what I was talking about, but I really don't. I'll find a link. But anyway, this is Greg and Jenny Alderman's company up in Muncie, Indiana. And they had just posted on Facebook that they had a bunch that they were going to sell and till they run out of stock. So I snagged some of those, and guy I was talking with, Steven, I think he ended up ordering some from there as well. Since they were in the U.S., it was just going to be easier to get a hold of. They were a little bit more per tag, but not too much. And I already got them. They come in the mail yesterday. Ordered them,
wow.
I think, on Thursday. So I stocked up, got a pretty good little bit. Should do me for a while. Should do me till my bump controller quits working, which, could be next week. Who knows?
Yeah, dude, I was listening to last week's show and you were like, yeah, I could sure use a couple hundred of them. And I'm like, or 100 of them. And I'm like, 100? The hell does he need 100 of them for?
Well, since, it may not be able to get them ever again. Unless I can find somebody to make some or something, and I'm too stupid to figure that part out. I don't know shit about NFC tags.
Yeah.
So I was like, might as well get enough to do me the next 10 years.
Yeah, because pushing buttons sucks.
It does.
So hard.
Not everyone's smart like you, Kevin, and can just program shit and make what they need.
Not everyone can make an R2D2.
Yeah, exactly.
That's true.
Yeah.
Some of us are just idiots like Ian. And we
Some
don't
of
know
us
how
have
to do
to buy
anything.
it.
Oh, come on.
Wow. Ian, you're the gonk
Damn.
droid of the show.
Oh,
Gonk.
But yeah, so I haven't done a tremendous amount. I kind of broke my flying streak. I've kind of got really busy with farm work this week because the weather's been nice. So kind of catching up on that. And I'm trying to get ready for a chill out next week. I just realized today that I got a shit ton of stuff I need to do the camper to have it ready.
Oh, yeah, you were
So-
talking about that last week.
Yeah. Yeah, I talk about it every week, but then I don't actually do anything till like 2 days before. I'm like, oh, fuck, I got all this shit to do.
Yeah.
So I got to
we
get on that.
remember the gasser.
Got to finish this heli, maiden it, hopefully.
So have you
Um,
nicknamed the camper the Hirobo Shuttle? Something you talk about every week, but it never
Yeah.
gets finished?
Uh-huh. It's actually
Nice.
a really good idea, Kevin. Thanks.
Nice.
Poor Ian. Can't get a break around
I
here.
know. No, not at all.
But that's it. Speaking of Ian, what you been up to?
I've been working like fucking mad. Like, I've literally been working straight for like the past, 2 or 3 weeks, and then I finally got a day off. Well, reluctantly, I ended up catching a stomach bug. So it's like I was off work for a couple days while I got over that mess. And
Wait,
then
reluctantly means you caught it on purpose, but you didn't want to?
No, I didn't want to take the day off. I mean, I just wanted to
He
work
didn't
straight
want to
through.
take the day off, but he had to take the day off because he was reluctantly.
Well, he said he
stomach issue.
reluctantly caught a
Right.
stomach bug, so I didn't know what he was saying.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sorry, go ahead.
Did you go
Either
flying?
way, I was off for a couple days. Did not
Okay.
go flying.
Ah.
Yeah, I was at home, sick as a dog. And then I ended up getting scheduled off today because they overstaffed, and which worked out great because I needed to put new brakes on the Jeep. So that's the only wrenching I've done. I did not fly. I was on Discord, which that was. I'll let Kevin tell y'all on that one. But there was quite a hefty list of people that were on there. Some that were never on there before. Other than that, just I posted my 550X for sale. Hopefully somebody buys that because I want to see that thing go through an RCHO combat. So, yeah.
How
Don't
badly
really
do you want to see that go through an RCHO combat? I mean,
if
you sell it
somebody
to me.
wants to buy it and put it.
You sell to me cheap enough, and I will definitely put it through RCHO combat. You know, I'll get a motor
Oh,
ESC. I'll find something to work in there. I got some old servos to fit in there. We'll make it work. It just has to fly once.
I mean, true. And if somebody wants to buy it for, whatever, it's like it's up for sale. It's just
let's give
the
it a
580
bit,
Raw.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and it's
So
like
how much is whatever?
Come on, let's all pull in $20. Let's do it. Oh.
I posted it for 200.
Hey,
And it's
$20
just
is $20.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit. But no, I don't really need it anymore since like the 580 Raw is coming out, and I'm more drawn to goblins than anything. So
Came out.
So yeah, it's like I'm probably just gonna go ahead, unload that, and then just get myself a Raw 580, and then I'm also gonna be posting my 470 here soon. So I'm just gonna do away with the T-Rexes and go with what I like flying, which is goblins. As far as my week, that's pretty much what it's been.
Cool.
Cool. Who wants to go next?
Dude, I'll go next. So I hit the sim on Friday night, like Ian was saying. That was a lot of fun. Got a chance to talk to Mark Ritchie again from Australia. And, a lot of the usual suspects were there. And there was one guy there that I was actually semi-delighted to see or to talk to. Not much. I was delighted to talk to him, but I wasn't delighted to hear him too much. Iaen was there for like an hour.
Okay.
Oh man.
And I said at one point, Bill, this is like the first time probably since I've been in Florida that I really wish I had a drink in my hand. I was talking to him for like an hour. But it was good to talk to Bill. He's doing all right. And Cliff Lewis was there, and Cliff Lewis let him have it for not posting a video that Cliff was like, "Where's my video? How come you never post my video?"
You just posted it though.
I know, that's why I posted. Well, I guess that's one way to get Bill to post a video about you. Join Discord Friday night and yell at him.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what he did. But simming was fun. I've been enjoying the sim, as usual, and been working on the 4-point TikToks. And yeah, man. So, went out to the field on Saturday, and I'm still. It's funny because I do I start out tail down. I'll do one to the right, and then I go in the clockwise direction or counterclockwise direction. So I'll go to the right, and then I go back to the left, and then I go around. And I was able to do a couple, like, you know, points, like maybe 8 points or 9 points, and, you know, and then just go into something else. But it's been pretty cool. I'm really comfortable with the nose down, and that was something that I kind of worked on and off, and just one day I was like, okay, I can do it, you know, type of thing. But I got like a lot of flights in on Saturday. Got out there around 10 and was supposed to meet up with Steve. And Steve at one point I was like, dude, did you mean you were coming today or not? Or what's the story? Because by the time he showed up, it was like 1:30. And him and Buzz showed up, and all the plankers had gone home, and I got like probably, you know, 10 to 12 flights in the entire day, which was cool.
Nice.
I had a issue with the 690, like just RPM, or no, it wasn't an RPM, it was a telemetry issue from the UI sensor. So I kind of flew on like a timer, and then I got to find one of those longer cables. I actually got to test it out to make sure that that's the problem, but I'm kind of sure it's either the UI sensor went or the cable to the Neo went, because I was getting no battery telemetry at all. But it was no big thing. Like I said, I flew on a timer for a little bit, but I was doing some. It was funny at one point. You know how I normally do my like my right to left like little deal where I'm flying backwards and then I flip it inverted, and then I go into something either side TikTok, or I kind of like funnel around inverted and flip it back over. And at one point I did one of those, but then when I came out of it, I kind of did something really cool. Like it was really slow, and I kind of like flipped it around. I was doing flippy shit. And then I went right back into it again. I was like, oh, that was cool. I got to try that again. And I couldn't do it again. I don't know what the hell I did. I was like, damn it. I got to start recording my flights, because you do shit like that and you're like, what was that? I don't know. I can't do it again. But yeah, flying was good Saturday. And then Sunday, I said to myself, I want to try and get a damn 3D printer working in the garage, and got one of my 3D printers going, the one that I built myself. And that came out really good. It was kind of like redoing everything, because I had not lost, but the PC that I was using, I had to reload like Pronterface, which is the free program that controls the printer, and then I had to reload like a slicing program on there, which is Ultimaker, and then I had to remove all the G code that kind of is for, you know, your generic printers, so it wasn't doing like, I don't home anything. I kind of like reset it before I start printing, because I was too lazy to put in all the home and safety switches and all that stuff. And it was printing. It was trying to print. It was pooping out filament. And I'm like, what the hell? Why isn't this thing going right? And then I finally figured out, well, you got to have the filament size correct. I was trying to print 3 millimeter with a 1.75. Yeah. So I'm like, it's extruding. And I'm like, it's extruding the right amount, like 25 millimeters. I like marked it off, and I'm like measuring it. I'm like, okay. But then when it came to print, it was just like poop, poop, poop. I'm like, why is it doing that? And I was like, it's got to be something easy. Yeah, and I checked it, and I was like, yeah, because I was starting from scratch. But it was cool. I was happy to get like something going, you know, like something printing. Not that I have anything to print real quick, but you know, it was cool. It was a good weekend, productive. So what about you, Steve? What have you been up to?
A bunch of stuff. So I'll break it into 3 things: bought, flew, and wrench.
Okay.
So yeah, bought some stuff. I picked up a used DJI Mavic Air 2. I wanted to get a flying camera. Been talking about it, so I just found one on Facebook Marketplace, and it was right here in Fredericksburg. So I met up with the guy and picked one up. Came with a nice case and everything. So
Nice.
And then more recently, I ordered some raw nitro parts, and I'll talk about that a little bit later why. But I did fly. I flew on Friday afternoon. The kids were off for school, and so I was like, okay, it's good. I'm gonna take a half day today, and I dragged them to the field.
Nice.
Y'all gotta get outside, so dragged them to the field, and I got quite a bit of flights in. I think I pretty much went through a gallon on the nitro, so about 6 flights on that. And then I did 3 on my orange creamsicle raw, the orange and white raw that I have now.
Oh, how'd that fly, man? How'd that look in the air?
The skies are like It was perfect skies. It was windy as fuck. It was super windy, but like the skies were perfectly blue and clear, so like it popped.
okay.
It was very visible. We'll see when it gets a little bit more gloomy out and gray
Right.
out. We'll see how it looks, but yeah, in the skies that I flew it in, I mean, I have a video on YouTube. You can see it. You can see the boom. You can see the heli pretty well.
I want to nickname it Push Pop. 'Cause it
Mm.
reminds me of a push pop
Wow.
or push up, whatever you call them.
Push up.
The orange sherbet thing with a white stick out the bottom.
Yeah. What was that?
There's a push
Yeah,
up, push
it's-
pop,
Yeah, it was
something.
push something like that. And they even had Flintstone ones. I remember as a kid.
No, I
Yeah.
didn't get the fancy Flintstones ones.
Yeah.
Just a Kroger brand.
He had
Yeah, we had
sherbet
to-
on a stick.
Had to buy Walmart brand or some shit.
But yeah, push pop, yeah. Oh, I gotta look that up. But beyond that, let me see. Yeah, I did fly the Raw 3-4 times, and then I flew the 580. I only have one 8S pack, so I only did one flight. I didn't bring a charger or anything. But then the next day, I went flying again. Actually, not the next day, not Saturday. It was Sunday. Day was
Mhm.
shitty out, but I was like, screw it. I'm gonna go out and fly a little bit, anyways. And I brought some planes with me. So recently, I put a V-bar mini, a mini V-bar in a FT Sparrow, a little foam, Dollar Tree foam board plane. And so I got that
Nice.
set up. I also have an Efx Racer that I put a new motor in. So I got that fixed up, and I wanted to take that out. I fixed my M2 Neo, so I was like, oh, let me go fly that, and I'll bring that out. And also brought out my Oxy 4 scale, the heli that I'm using as the scale bird, to test the mechanics, make sure. I changed some things around, like the way that the tail servo mounts on it to be able to tuck it into the fuselage. So I wanted to test fly before I actually stuck it in there. And then my Nitro Raw. So I started with the FT Sparrow, and like I don't know, like it wasn't trimmed out. It wasn't balanced either. I don't know. The CG was all off. I just chucked it. It like lasted 30 seconds in the, not even, maybe like 2 seconds in the air, and it crashed. I picked it up and threw it again, and I just kept on doing it. And I recorded the flight. I'll post a video. I kept on doing it until basically it kept on nosediving into the ground until it just ripped it through 3 pieces. And I'm like, all right, next. So I put that away. And I take out the Efx Racer, and I mean, Kevin might remember this. Like, I hated launching this thing. Like, it torque rolls a lot,
Yeah.
So of course, like, and it has a V-bar on there. It's a mini V-bar as well in there, and like, it's no real trim. It's like you have the trim button where like it'll auto trim. So I'm trying to like auto trim it to give it some down elevator, because I can't throw it and like then reach down. So I was like, okay, whatever, full throttle. I chucked it, and as I'm trying to reach down, it like goes like this, and I couldn't pull anything on the elevator. So it basically nosedived into the ground. Broke the prop. That's it. So that's fine. I'll buy another prop and I'll try it again. But
Yeah, this plane is like a speed, like it's a cafe racer or a racer style
Mhm.
plane.
yeah.
And this is like it's so funny now that I'm down in Florida and it's predominantly a bunch of old people at the flying field. I know I got gray hair and I call these people old people, but they'll always be old to me. I don't care how old
That's
they
how
are.
you know they're really old.
Yeah. When I'm calling them old, they're really old. Exactly. But there's a guy that he's like Johnny Full Throttle. It's a guy named Ron, and he just, everything he has is like a P-51. All right, 3-foot takeoff. Like he just floors it, and he's lost something. These are guys that got more money falling out of their ass than they know what to do with. So they smash the shit one week and they go out and buy another one and they smash it again the next week. It's just constant. Like you never take your eyes off them when they're out there flying, because it's always a show. Well, he has one of those things, and we were like, oh shit, this is going to be good. 100-mile-an-hour plane in this guy's hands,
Yeah.
So he took it off. He took off. He threw it, and was flying it around a little bit. And then somebody started to say something to him as he's flying, and like from the peanut gallery, from like way back in the pits, he literally stopped and turned around and started yelling at the guy.
Oh my god.
And we're like, Ron, look at your plane, dude. And he got it back safe and everything, but like,
Wow.
this is the show that goes on a Saturday. It used to be like me and Mike were like the comedy team at the field and having a great time. Now it's just like show up and bring your popcorn and watch the dumb shit that happens week after week.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a really quick cafe racer style plane, and I remember that, Steve. I remember that was really quick plane.
Yeah.
A lot of
I
fun
wonder
you
if
had with it.
If you tried to launch it at like half throttle or something, what would it do?
Yeah.
Not have enough power to climb out, or would it maybe not torque as bad?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
Probably
know.
would help just having someone else throw it as well.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, but there's got to be a way you could do it yourself. Maybe you need to add a, I don't know.
I could try
Preload
turn the
some-
gains on too and make it like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
gyro
That'd
try to
work.
do it, right?
hmm
But yeah, I haven't really messed with that much. But whatever. It's an airplane, who cares? And then after that I flew the M2 Neo and I was having a good time with that little helicopter, but it was so windy. And anything when you unload on that M2 or the Logo 200, it likes to like do a little tail whip. So yeah, I lost it, broke a servo arm, and so that ended that flight. The Oxy 4, it's a scale heli. Took it off, went back and forth, set it up nice and easy, so that's fine. And then I started flying the flying camera a little bit around the field and everything, just trying to like get used to it. And then I kind of parked it, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna fly to Raw Nitro. I'll do some B-roll stuff, whatever. And I was flying the Raw Nitro, and I was having fun with it. And probably about like a minute and a half in the flight, of course off the frame from the flying camera, but yeah, I saw my tail hub or my whole tail, not the whole tail, your tail hub, your tail, shaft just kind of fly off the helicopter with the blades and everything, and then and I'm like, oh, it's pirouetting now. That's fun. I did notice something when I was flying, and it's one of these things that I don't know. I've gotten to a point in the flying where like I notice it. Like I'm flying, I'm doing my maneuvers, and I'm like, I'll do a tail whip, and I'll kind of know the rate that the tail's gonna go. And if it's off by a little, it makes me question it for a second, and that's when I like start doing tail whips, and like pushing on the tail to see what happens. And I did that, and that's when the tail was like, whoop, bye. So the disc was flat. I hit throttle hold all it down, no damage, no nothing. Found the pulley and the tail shaft and everything, no damage. There's like a little nick on the tail blade from it, I guess, hitting something when it got ejected. But yeah, it was fine.
Lucky you found the pulley.
Yeah, it fell like right next to the thing. It just like popped off and just all fell. It was pretty it was pretty interesting.
I never get that lucky.
I wish.
No.
Yeah, me neither. Usually it's like somewhere over there, and I call it a loss because I don't even bother looking, But yeah, I lucked out, but it sucked because I would have recorded the flight, but because I was flying that stupid drone and I was using my phone, I couldn't record that flight. So, but yeah, it's fine. I did take it apart. Basically, I just have to replace everything's fine on it. The set screw, I guess, just backed out. That's what it looks like to me. I need to get a bearing on the hub. That bearing, I guess, when the thing got ejected out, kind of like tweaked it and it fell apart. So that's, I popped that out and I got an order in. So VK Hobby. So I should be getting new. I bought just like new hub, tail case. I bought a whole bunch of stuff just to kind of rebuild it. Just have it rebuilt. Just because it did go flying without the helicopter and hit the ground. So I don't know if anything might be damaged or not. And then I did some more wrenching on the scale heli, that little 450, the Oxy 4. I've pretty much cut the frame so I could fit the thing. So it fits in there. And now I got some pieces of little hobby grade plywood that I'm going to start building up a little framing for so I can actually mount it in the scale helicopter fuselage. And then, hopefully give it a try and see if it flies. Get it all set up.
Cool.
Nice, dude.
Nice.
A lot of stuff. All right. Tom, what have you been up to? And then we'll go to Dan and then go right into the main topic.
I actually got to fly. This past weekend, I got a few flights on the Electric Raw. I got a couple flights on the Nitro Raw HD.
Mhm.
The past couple times that I went to try and get some videos, I either forgot the hat mount or I was pointed all messed up. And even this time around,
Yeah.
it was the angle was fine on the Electric Raw, and I guess I
Mhm.
bumped it when I was on the on my lift gate. When I was standing up, it might have bumped and tilted it up a little bit because when I went to review it, I was like, oh man, like you can barely see the helicopter like at the bottom of the screen. I'm like,
Yeah.
"Ah,
It
sucks."
like skims the screen on the bottom. It's like, ah.
Yeah. So I mean, whatever. I posted it. It's there. That's about the only video I was able to get decent with the Raw HD. So that's about it. I just got.
Send me that video. I bet I can work some stuff with it.
You want the Raw video?
Yeah, if you send me the raw video, I can probably edit it and make it so you can see the helicopter a lot better and watch it.
Okay, cool.
Cool. All right. And Dan?
Yeah. So this past weekend we actually got some decent weather, and I wound up off work early Friday, so I got out flying Friday afternoon for the first time since I think New Year's, because it's just been like cold and rainy and shitty up here.
Wow.
So I took my Diablo Nitro out and my NitrawHD, and so I put the Diablo up about 30 seconds from the end of the pack. It just starts like slowly pirouing. I'm like, I'm not telling it to do that. And it starts drifting off, and I'm like, I'm gonna kill the engine. Nothing happens.
Oh no.
Had zero control. Just
Uh-oh.
watched it go in, bounce through a nice big mud puddle in the field. So the entire thing is coated in mud. It
Hence the picture
landed
behind you.
Yeah.
The worst.
It landed basically straight on the head under power. I posted that pic in Hangouts. That's the bearing that's split on the top of the bearing block. The bottom bearing that holds the main shaft is just completely gone. It looks like it punched through the bearing support when it hit, something like that. But it was almost out of gas when it hit, so the engine just kind of shut off after sitting there spinning for a bit. Pipe looks fine, frames look good. I think the servos, like all the links broke on the servos, so I think the servos are going to be all right. So depending how bad it is between the frames is probably not that bad, but it's probably pretty bad. So that was a good first flight in like a month and a half. So after that, I got out the NitrawHD, doing some governor setup testing with that, trying to get the Futaba governor to play nice. Think I got that figured out now, but I was having some, like, it wouldn't do the RPM I wanted. I think I had some mismatch between the radio and the gyro settings, but I think that's good now. I got one flight video to that. I posted a little clip of that too. So yeah, things flying good. Otherwise, Saturday I did some trailer prep for chill out. Just taking care of some stuff. Because it was warm but windier, so I didn't really feel like going out flying. And otherwise, just trying to keep moving forward on getting the HD finished.
All right.
Cool.
Sweet. Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll talk about that. First, let's get to know Dan a little. It is Dan's first time officially on the show and not on a live show here. So, yeah, let's go with some questions here. First of all, where are you located?
I'm up northwest of Baltimore in Maryland.
Nice. How long have you been in the hobby?
I think about 10 or 11 years now.
Wow.
Nice.
It adds up.
Mm-hmm.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yep.
So they say.
Or when you're not, the past couple of years.
For some reason, I thought you said Tom flies when you're having fun, and I'm like,
well, that too.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Still works.
Awesome. Do you fly only helis or do you fly planks or and drones and multi-rotors?
I've had planes off and on. I have like a QQ extra something.
Nice.
To fly it once in a while when I feel like it. I'll go through bring it out to the field for a couple weekends and then just let it sit for a couple months.
Yeah.
You know how it goes.
As you should.
I started with helis and I've been basically all helis the whole time.
Nice. Started with helis. Wow. So what got you interested in the hobby then?
So I think I was probably about 7 in my grandparents' basement looking around, and they had one of those old, it's like the Cox Cobra or whatever.
Yeah,
the little
motor on
little
the top.
propeller on the top, and
Yeah.
you start it up and it would go up and then freewheel down. I think that thing ran once, but it was cool, and I was like, hey, that's kind of neat. And then
Right.
it ran once and it sat in the basement for years. And then one year for Christmas, Woot had those little like a 3-pack of those foam helicopter things that you could get at a mall kiosk. And I got those for my brothers. And I was like, those are kind of cool. And then I got one of the SEMA coaxials to mess around with. And I was like, I wonder what else is out there. Found Heli Freak and just went straight down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
So I worked my way up the blade helis, the Nano, the 130X, a couple of those, and got some clone 450s, a couple 500s, 700s, and then I got into Nitro, and then I got a fly bar.
And that's all she wrote.
Did it kind of backwards from most people, I think, but
I don't know. I think a lot of us start and go all the way up the line through the blades.
I
Were
just
you like me
going electric to Nitro to fly bar. Most people did that the other way around.
Well, yeah, that part.
We've been in it longer.
Each time you got a bigger one in the blades, did you say, okay, this is big as I'm going to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bit of that.
And then 2 weeks later, you buy another one.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, I'd fly the Nano around in my living room, and then I got kept burning motors out in it, so I put the brushless conversion on it, and it didn't really work well either.
Mm-hmm.
Then I got a 130X for some reason, dumped way too much money into that. Because the 130 would fly well until you crashed it.
Yep.
Then it would never work again.
Yep.
And I didn't realize that, so I dumped the Lynx Extreme frame and micro heli, and I probably had $1,000 in one of those, and it's just like
it's ridiculous.
Not even worth it.
And it still sucked.
Yeah.
Yep. It's even worse. Yeah.
I was going to say Dan's story sounds a lot like mine with the small Cox helicopters and then the mall kiosks, the SEMA 107. Yeah.
Yep.
Then the blade stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when I got to the blade 450 size, I was like, whoa, this feels big. It's loud and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Then you get your first kit hell and you're like,
the 450 size wasn't that big, relative. Going from the 130 to the 450 wasn't, that huge a jump. It didn't feel like.
Yeah.
But then I got a Galley X5, and that felt
it's
big.
way bigger.
And that's a true 5 too, right? It's not like 420.
That was
520.
520s.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So that felt really big.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see here. So what do you do for a living? How do you support the hobby?
So I work IT adjacent. I did sysadmin stuff for a couple of years and then got into system engineering, I guess, doing like software integration type stuff. So been doing that for 6 or 7 years now.
Nice.
Oh, you IT guys.
Yeah, I make the computer lights go blinky.
I'm looking at the screen. There's 6 of us, and 4 of you got something to do with IT. Just me and Iaen over here hanging out.
4, 1, 2,
I just do audio and video, dude.
He's an
I'm
AV guy.
I'm
They're
the
not
AV
IT.
guy. I
It's
roll the
close
cart
enough.
into the classroom.
Yeah.
And
He works with a
It's-
computer.
It's electronics, not so much computer, you know.
He works with a computer. People call him to fix shit. That's all the thing.
I'm actually surprised at how much IT stuff I'm actually doing.
I think you do a lot of IT stuff. I think you're
Yeah.
both.
Quite a
both
few
have-
jobs are actually IT.
Mhm.
I thought
Yeah.
Iaen
I
was
just
in
don't tell
IT.
you.
No,
Oh,
not yet.
No?
He's training.
You'll know,
training.
Tom. The internet will
IT training.
completely stop.
Once he gets a computer.
Yeah. Didn't expect the computer to shit out a motherboard.
That's why they have computers at Walmart. All right,
Yeah.
let's move on. All right, Dad. Who are you sponsored by? I know.
Yeah, so I'm
That's
sponsored by
sponsored.
Only Fine Helis.
Yeah.
Shannon's a great guy. He's been coming out, brings parts to events.
Mhm.
So I'm happy to rep for him.
Sure.
Support the people who support us, you know, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Do you sim?
Yeah, I've been trying to sim off and on. You know, I'll go through like every day for a month and then put it down and not pick it up. But
Yeah, phases. Yeah.
yeah, past couple weeks I've been doing 10, 15 minutes a day. You know, just
Cool.
messing around with stuff.
I'm impressed you can go an entire month at a time. About a week is
Yeah.
as long as I can keep it up.
About 2-3 days for me. I try to like, oh, I got this new maneuver in my head, and I'll try to do it, and I'm like, okay, yeah, I think I figured it out, and then that's it. I'll put it down.
Yeah. And I'm not really working on any particular maneuver, just kind of like transitions and reversals and things.
Dan, do you sim with the brightness like almost completely down on your monitor?
Just so you see the neon light.
So it's like kind of what you do in real life?
No, although there was a while where the
Puts on dark sunglasses.
what was
Yeah.
it, the alpha version of AccuRC had a bug on the T-Rex where the entire model was invisible except the components.
Oh,
really?
jeez.
Nice.
So you
Just
get
slide
like
the
the
servos
perfect
and
disc.
motors,
So
shit.
you'd be flying the pipe on the Nitro, and it's
Oh,
that's all you got.
awesome. That's all you got, a pipe.
that was fun.
Nice.
Awesome. All right, well, I guess you kind of alluded to it. What's your sim of choice?
Mostly AccuRC. I started with Phoenix and did Next for a bit, and AccuRC seems like the most reasonable to me.
Yeah.
Next works mostly, but it doesn't really. It didn't. It's been a while. It didn't really do the
Got weirdness.
translational lift. So like in a hurricane, it would just kind of fall out of it, which they don't do in real life. So I feel like AccuRC did a better job with that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about your fleet. What helis do you have besides the one behind you there?
Let's see. So I have a 580 Nitro. I have a Spectre V2. I have a Nitro Raw. I have the Nitro Raw HD. I have a Diablo Nitro. I have a T-Rex 700 flybar. And then a handful of airframes sitting around.
Nice. All right, and I guess let's talk about your supporting equipment, like radio, battery, charger, those type of things.
Yeah.
like to use?
Radio, I've been flying the Futaba 69Z recently, putting 760s on stuff. I have an Icon on one. Flew V-Bar for a bunch of years and decided to see what else was out there, and I like the way the Futaba flies. So
Nice.
been moving some stuff to that. Servos, I got a bit of everything. Expert, MKS, Futaba.
Right on.
I think that's about it right now. I have a set of Tesla's servos or whatever they're called that I haven't put in anything yet.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Batteries, I have whatever was cheap or available.
Receiver pack.
Receiver packs, yeah.
We don't ask Dan what kind of batteries he runs.
Yeah.
We ask him what kind of fuel he uses.
Yeah.
So I have a couple, 2 or 3 cases of iron still sitting around, but I've been flying the full pull fuel.
Okay.
Nice.
Nice. I got like a case of burners left. I'm almost done with full pull as well. So.
Yeah, I have, I don't know, 5 or 6 cases still, so I'm good for a bit. But
yeah,
gonna have to find somewhere else to get fuel before too long.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Some boys down in North Carolina, maybe.
Yep.
All right. That's the normal stuff that we normally ask. Should we go right into the top 10 shotgun round real quick and kind of get that over with, or should we go into the Nitro Raw HD? What should we do?
Let's do the Nitro Raw HD before Tom falls asleep, and then we'll do the shotgun round before we move on.
Sounds good. All right. So let's talk about the Nitro Raw HD, or just Nitro HD. I don't know what you guys calling it.
The NitrawHD was what I've been calling it.
Yeah.
No.
No.
Yeah, I made it. I get to name it.
No. No, you're wrong.
That's all right. Yeah, so it's.
I was trying to convince Dan to name it N-Thing.
And thing.
N-Thing.
That's more wrong, but okay. I see where you're going.
I see why you
Night
won't
thing?
get a name now. So what made you want to do this?
Well, wait, first, tell us what it is.
Yeah. What is it?
So
What
it's,
is a Nitro Raw HD or a Nitro HD, whatever the hell it is?
So it's
Or
the powertrain transmission tail off of the electric Raw with the nitro front end bolted onto it, basically.
Okay.
And so what that gets you is beefier main shaft, beefier spindle, beefier tail hub,
Mhm.
at the cost of a few ounces.
Yeah.
I think it was 4 or 5 ounces different.
Okay. So more robust at the expense of more weight.
Yep.
Okay.
But not much
So-
more weight. A little
No, it was less than I was expecting, honestly, with the amount of like things that are smaller on the standard nitro.
bit. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pleasantly surprised by that.
Nice. So how much of it is like raw? How much of it is kind of your? I mean, obviously, like the whole front end is still the nitro. Raw
Yeah.
nitro,
So
but, like, what's different about it? What's customized?
the only custom piece on it is the upper frames.
The upper frames. Okay.
Upper frames and a couple frame spacers.
Yep.
The like the main bearing plate is a different width. So it needs to get spaced out a little differently to fit that.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a spacer to make the motor bolt up because that's narrower. And that's really it.
Okay.
I think my frame set didn't work like this, but I think Tom's did. I think when the Nitro came out, SAB revised the lower frames. So I think they're the same part between the Nitro and the electric. So if you have a new enough electric, it's the same part. And if not, you have to go buy those too. But otherwise,
there's
it's
some extra holes drilled out for it.
there's a couple extra holes. But the top mounting spacing's all the same.
Yeah. Yep. You can tell when you get for the stickers as well. Like stickers have like the extra holes and stuff, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Anito.
So what do? Do you take an electric and convert it to this, or do you take a nitro?
You take the electric, and then you have to get like
buy the frames, and then you got to buy the clutch stack and all that stuff.
And the tank and.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that's not too bad, right? It's just you're talking about the motor mount, your fan shroud.
Motor mount, fan shroud, clutch stack, motor belt.
What about gearing? Does anything change with that? Like, is the nitro and the?
Yeah, so I got lucky on that. The nitro comes with a 27 tooth and gives you 8.0. And you can go up or down a tooth to go to 7.8 and 8.2, I think, or 7.7 and 8.3, something like that. The electric with a 26 tooth is 8.15. So that's right in the range you want to be for most motors. If you got a 120, you can stick the 27 in there and it's like 7.8. If it was any farther off, I was going to have to find a bigger main pulley to make that work.
Right.
But
Yeah.
the 26 tooth puts you in the right range, so don't have to do any of that.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
And then it's the
You probably could have used a nitro pulley.
no, the nitro pulley smaller.
Is it?
Yeah, because the main gear and pinion are different on the nitro as well.
Oh yeah.
So it's like a 56 tooth on the nitro and a 58 on the electric or something like that. So slightly different, but you can get close enough to be reasonable. And then the only other real difference is it's using the black nitro motor belt, which is a little longer just to shift the motor that bit farther forward for CG.
That was my next question. Is how did the CG work out with the bigger tail components?
Yeah, so
Just shifted the motor up.
I'm using the same receiver pack, and they both CG perfect with the 2500 2S or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
With or without a canopy? Can you use the canopy?
Without. Yeah, so that's one of the things I've been working on. If I was making it for me, I'd have been done a couple months ago.
Yeah, I did see some pictures.
But then just trying to get canopy mounts worked out, figure out how to stick the battery on there. So I do have canopy mounts working. It's ever so slightly tail heavy with the canopy and the battery in the center, but I don't think it's enough to be a problem, and you can shift the battery around too a bit and make up for that.
Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, it won't have a battery box, so you can actually shift the receiver pack a little further forward.
There was enough difference in bolt layout between the two, so the battery box doesn't really clear anywhere on the frame, so I couldn't make it work. So I just have a plate on the side with spacer, so you can strap the battery to it.
I mean, does it matter? Like, because I feel like it's so close to the center shaft that like moving just like a little bit probably, would actually.
It doesn't make a big difference, but you can slide it a bit towards the nose, and that helps a bit, kind of thing,
Talking about the front end, full size throttle servo, mini throttle servo.
Same as the nitro.
Optional, like the nitro.
Yeah, they have the two different plates you can put on it, full size or mini.
Maybe full size will help with that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm running a full size. I think, Tom, are you running a mid size? Mini.
Yeah. Yep.
You could have just built it without a canopy, and if people ask for canopy, just tell them to quit being a wuss.
Tom will tell you I was very close.
That'd have been one option.
I spent about
more time.
This is a helicopter for a real man.
A couple weeks trying to get that to line up right, because it's like the reference points I was using didn't work, so I wound up just kind of like sticking the canopy there and seeing where it fit. And,
right.
Yeah. I was very close to telling people you don't get a canopy. But
no canopy for you.
I didn't think there was going to be that much of an interest, because I mean, quite honestly, it's not cost effective. If you were to buy a raw electric kit, and then you buy all the nitro bits for the front, and then you have to go buy the conversion frames, you're looking at almost on the same level of cost wise as a Diablo nitro.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing as the Kraken nitro, because you buy an electric kit and then you buy all the nitro bits to go in it. So you're talking $1,400-$1,500 for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, there were people
asking for it already.
To a lot of people that are like, so when can I get one? So.
I think also if you have like a black nitro that you might not be flying anymore, and you have a whole and you have a raw electric, like you pretty much have most of the components right there.
Right, you're buying a fuel tank.
Right. Yeah, tank, some spacers. Maybe some of those the way that the tank mounts, right? You need those arms. So.
Yeah.
I love how SAB makes you buy each individual tank spacer and mount.
Do they? I haven't looked up that part. I didn't think that's the part that people would break.
They do learn that from Synergy.
Yeah, that's
Baby.
synergy business model for sure.
And then they used to on the Black Nitro give you, if you buy the tank, you got the whole assembly.
Yeah.
Now you got to buy the little nipple separately.
Oh, you don't get the
Yeah.
nipple. You don't get that. Oh, wow.
No, you got to buy the clunk and all of that all separately.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I actually made a parts list that I sent Dan and said, well, if you feel like if somebody has any interest, show them the parts list and the cost, and then if they're still interested, then maybe you can, you know, that'll be the good gauge on whether they want to really go for it or not.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Worth your time to get more frames cut.
Yeah.
Who's doing the cutting for you? Are you doing the frame cutting yourself?
Yeah, so all the cutting
Outsourcing?
so far I've been doing myself.
Oof.
I got a Stepcraft, been cutting frames on that. It's been an
Nice.
interesting learning experience making that work.
I thought you were going to say you'd gotten really good with a Dremel.
Right. He just has jigs for everything. Every hole has a jig.
So I have cut carbon on my mill before, but that works for straight lines.
Yeah.
I can do squares. I can do
But
real
you
good
can't
squares.
turn both handles and make nice curves?
Not so much, no.
Amateur.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that happened too. We were just talking about, man, what if that'd be really easy. All we needed is just cut frames. And he was like, yeah. And I mean, everything else is OEM parts. And like literally a few days later, he messaged me. He goes, well, I did a thing. I'm like, the hell are you talking about? And he sends me a screenshot of purchase order for a Stepcraft. And I was like, holy crap.
Oh, damn.
I was like, okay, you're in it.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Awesome.
Well, I'm sure people are asking, like, why would anybody want this? Because SAB already makes a raw nitro, and as
Yeah,
everyone knows,
so-
everything they do is perfect and amazing. So why change it?
So basically, all engineering is a compromise, and I wanted a different compromise. They were really shooting for the lightest nitro, and I'm pretty sure they got it. I think it's a couple ounces under the Protos and the logo and whatever else. But depending on how you fly, bearings don't last. Or, you know, I've had some issues with the tail hubs, just kind of whatever they glue them together with separating,
Right.
which makes a real fun noise if it happens in flight. So it gets you some beefier components, so it'll hold up to some more abuse. And then if you have the electric, and you fly the electric, and you like the electric, and you want to keep spares, the nitro shares basically nothing with the 700 electric. So if you do this, suddenly all your crash parts are the same.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, or you just want to try something different, you know? I just wanted to see if I could do it, and I could.
Just because,
and it flies good. So there you go.
Do it just because you can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like the way you brought up the point that everything's a compromise. You can't go ultra lightweight and be super strong.
Yeah.
Just same as you
the
can't
weight's
be
got to come out of somewhere.
Yeah, you can't be super strong and be ultra lightweight. It's just impossible, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's all a balancing act, and you know, for most people, the nitro is going to be fine as it is. I just wanted something a bit different.
Well, that's cool. I mean, it's part of modeling as well as modifying, changing, improving, redesigning. I mean, it's something we all like to tinker with.
Yeah. This all started because I wanted to cut clutch bells. 2 liners.
Awesome.
So is this something that is going to be available for sale? Like, will it be a website or some how to get a hold of
I don't
one?
think it's going to be anything as fancy as a website.
Message you and say, hey, give me that.
Yeah, pretty much that. I'd prefer not to cut them myself, so I'm talking as
RJ.
finalizing the model and then talking to RJX about cutting frames.
Yeah, that'd work good.
So it'll cost whatever it costs. I haven't checked with them yet.
Right.
How much would it cost for a Dan handcrafted set of frames?
With your name engraved in it.
Oh, the engraving's extra.
How much you got?
Oh, I assume it would be, but it'd be extra cool.
No, it'd be in the $100 range, somewhere around there.
That's not bad. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not really looking to make money on this. I just want to,
Yeah, just get it out.
cover material
Oh,
costs.
that's a piss poor business plan, dude.
Well, I really don't want it to be more than a hobby.
Because I'll give you a little secret. If you say I just want to make a reasonable amount of money, you will actually not make any money. So if you start out saying I don't want to make any,
I'm never
you'll
going to
lose
make money
a ton
on
of
this.
money.
I spent $4,000 on a stepcraft. I'm not making that back.
Yeah.
But no, I don't want it to be a business, because when it's a business, it
Right.
stops.
No, I know. I'm just aggravating you.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's
Tom,
cool.
What's
a little
up?
quiet. I want to get you talking a little more. So, what's your involvement as far as like, have you been doing a lot of R&D with him? You've been kind of testing this, just been flying and beating it up and seeing if it works?
I just threw a bunch of shit at him, and whatever stuck, and whatever
Mhm.
he used, and he took and ran with it.
He
And
kept
then,
bugging me until it happened.
yeah, basically, like as
Just
soon as
bugs
he,
him so you could get a set.
yeah, as soon as he showed me, see, he messed up. As soon as he showed me that Stepcraft order, I was like, oh,
Mhm.
it's on now.
Now I know
Oh,
what
yeah.
we can do.
Yeah, it's on now. It's like, done yet? Are you done yet? Are you done yet?
So would you say you're the prime motivator? One with the cattle prod poking Dan to keep him going.
I'm just a good friend and really enjoy helping.
Hey, Blair.
Well,
Positive
I give
encouragement.
yes, I give him motivation to spend a lot of money to make stupid stuff.
A lot of time.
I mean, we
A
all
lot
do
of
that
time.
with each other, don't we? I mean, we convince each other to buy new helicopters all the time and fly these things. And
I'm
crash
good at starting projects, and Tom is good at bugging me to finish them.
Yeah.
them. There you go.
Hey, sometimes it takes a motivator. I'm terrible at finishing projects as well. Just
But
ask Tima.
But it happened pretty quick after he got the Stepcraft in. He got it set up. He made some test cuts on ABS, made some adjustment, and then he was like, "Well, this is it, and do or die, now or never." He stuck a frame in, or a carbon piece in there, and started cutting.
And then it dropped steps and locked up the motor because I didn't have it aligned properly.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
I got
Anybody
halfway
that's-
around the perimeter of the first frame, and it just went.
Oh, shoot.
Ruined it.
Crash.
Yeah, and then it wasn't making the whole size properly.
Yeah,
and-
so that was the whole learning experience with the Stepcraft, trying to figure out how do I get this to do what I need.
But once he got it though, I got he sent me a set of the frames, and I put it on, and everything lined up perfectly. I mean, it's
Nice.
just because all the parts are OEM, literally
Mhm.
like everything just assembled just like any other SAB
Like a
kit
kit.
did. Yeah. There was no hiccups. There was no trying to like fit and force things to fit. Everything just
Right.
lines up. Only other thing that I would say was a little bit of a pain is because on the engine mount in between the frames, you got two sets of spacers now. You got a set of spacers between the engine mount and the upper frame, and then you got another set of spacers from the upper frame and the lower frame of the front. So it's tricky getting two spacers with one bolt going through and then lining it up.
Everything lined up.
Yeah, I mean, that was
And
probably the only tricky part.
Based on that, I actually changed how that works.
Yeah.
So it's a couple pieces of carbon now instead of just loose spacers. So you can actually like stick one end in, get it lined up, and then swing the other end down, that kind of thing. And the engine mount, instead of putting spacers on both sides, I put a thicker spacer on one side. So the engine sits off center a little, but it's a lot easier to get everything lined up because you're only messing with one spacer there.
Nice. It's a good idea.
How many iterations or changes have you done over?
I think I have 3 or 4 sets of ABS frames that, just try stuff, see if it works, try stuff, see if it works. And then I think in carbon, I've cut 5 sets.
5 sets, okay.
Tom,
are they identical too? Left and right sets are identical? Or
oh, yeah, left and right is identical.
Okay. And how thick carbon using? Same like
2.5.
2.5 mil, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Same as the electric had.
Yep. Awesome.
Cool.
I like that little post that you guys did because Enrico did a post of like all the raw drivetrains and everything. And I don't know if it was Tom.
That was all Tom.
And you guys did like, here's the raw Nitro HD.
Yeah, I got bored one day and I saw Enrico post and I was like, I wonder if he would get mad if I just went and photoshopped the HD in there. So I made it and I sent it to Dan and he started cracking up. He was like, post it. I was all right, I'll post it. Yeah. And some people actually mistaken it for, they're bringing out another model, WTF.
Oh.
So I had to jump in real quick and be like, no, it's a joke. This is HD. This, I had to kind of explain, and then they're like, oh, okay. Because they're starting to jump on the bandwagon. Like, man, how many models are you guys gonna drop? SAB, blah 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 blah. And I was just like, well, that's my fault. Sorry, Enrico.
Have you had any negative reaction or comments?
Yeah, have you had
from anyone?
Well, most of the
questions. You don't have to say who, but I'm just curious if anybody's had something to say.
No, I think most of the question is why.
Right.
And my explanation is, I mean, don't get me wrong, the production Nitro flies really good because it's so much smaller and it's lighter.
But it's smaller components. It's the older 700 size components and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I know every crash is different. I mean, I've crashed it multiple times, and there's a time where I buried it pretty hard, and like there was almost no damage. It's just some skids and blades. And there was one instance where I came in with an auto, and it was kind of like a sliding auto, and I was kind of just slightly off angle. So the skid kind of tipped it. And I mean, yeah, it caught. And I mean, the blades were pretty much almost stopped. It was at the end of the slide, and it just literally tipped over. At initial glance, I was like, oh, yeah, no problem. Just fold the blades back out, and then, I'll fill it up and go again. Well, when I brought it back to the table and started looking at it more, I was noticing way more damage. Like the swash plate, it's a 580 swash, and you got 700 blades, so there's a lot more momentum there. Well, the swash bent, and I can like clearly see it. The grip arm on the grip, actually the bolt, the M4 bolt actually ripped threads out of the actual grip arm. So
wow.
So I had to replace an entire grip arm, and so it was really surprising that something such a slow tip would do that much damage. But that was kind of the point where we kind of like initially when it was released, we were pretty excited about it, but we started noticing like the compromise you guys were talking about. If you go really light, there's the beefiness isn't going to be there, and that means
right.
The strength on certain things aren't going to be there at the same time. So it was just one of those things that it was an idea. I was like, man, that'd be really cool. It wouldn't take much. It'll be just like the Kraken Nitro, just some frames. You throw some Nitro parts on there, and it'll be a flying Hellion. And it just really, it really ended up very surprisingly well. Like the heli flies really good. It's I think I looked back on all my weight pictures, and when I weighed the HD, completely built, ready to fly, except fuel, it came in around the same weight as the Protos Nitro, which the Protos Nitro was fairly light. So it was very surprising. And another thing that really helps with this helicopter is that the production Nitro, the blade bolt to bolt head spacing it's like 145 millimeters. Well, the electric raw is like 180-ish millimeters.
You
So
get a bigger disc.
Yeah, you gain in disc also. So the weight gain is very it feels very negligible because you got a large disc.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah, that's cool. You don't actually realize how much things are bigger because you just think, oh well, the gearbox, but it's grease, bath gears, whatever. But then when you look at the main shaft, which means the main shaft bearings, and then the head is bigger, and then the spindle is bigger, so you got bigger radial bearings, bigger thrust bearings, bigger grips. Everything's just bigger, stronger.
Mainly the shafts and the bearings, right? Like those are the main things that I've noticed that would be bigger, that would matter more, right? Of your wear and tear and maintenance and of course crashing and impacts, right? So,
It makes sense. It really does.
Well, the electric was also, it's been out for what, a year or over a year?
Over a year now, yeah.
And
January.
And it's proven to be pretty robust. When the Nitro version was initially released, I know a lot of people had problems with that 2.5 millimeter bolt that bolts the bell crank, the tail bell crank in the back, snapping off. Or the 2 mil bolt.
It was 2 mil, that's why, yeah.
And just, it goes back to the same point. You start making things really light, you start compromising on strength.
Right.
So like Dan said, it's a fine balance, right? What do you really want? Do you want a really light flying machine? You can go that way, just don't expect things to survive crashes, like something that's a little more beefy would.
Or even super aggressive flying. And it's probably not for everyone. Like for the way I fly and stuff, the production one would be perfectly fine. Unless I plow it in, I'm sure it'd be fine. But I'm not aggressive. More slow, smooth stuff. So, but if you are flying and very aggressive and the hard direction changes, I guess, and stuff, and the thing that really stress the bearings, or you hit the ground a lot.
Yep.
Either one of those
or
things
both.
that makes sense, or both. Yeah.
Yeah.
You hit the ground because you're flying so aggressive.
Yeah.
What I like about it is the fact that, it uses a lot of parts from the electric. If I was to, I know it's a shock that I don't have a Goblin, but,
I don't know how they let you
spoiler,
in Florida.
I snuck in the middle of the night.
On a boat.
But I definitely would go that route. I think if I had the Nitro, and like Andy said, you really plow it in, because I like the fact that, if I had, an issue with one of them, I got parts that go to either model. I think that's great.
I guess that point could go either way. If you have 580s, then you can use a lot of your 580 parts.
Yeah, but
You can't use those.
Nope. It doesn't share with the 580 either.
It's
like
based
the
off of
production
different-
model.
Yeah.
The grips and head and stuff
Nope.
are not all the same.
They're different.
I think the
It's
tail grips are the same.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Tail
didn't
grips and the
realize that.
bearings and stuff are obviously the same, but
That's about the
shaft
extent of it.
and
Oh.
stuff.
Plates different, frames are different, the main grips are different.
Yep.
The head block might be the same,
Yep, the head block's the same. Yep.
but it's
Like your radial
I
arms.
thought
all
the
those
entire
stuff.
head was the same.
nope.
No,
It's
they-
not.
They have
No,
to-
they put
Oh,
bigger blade grips to fit the
to
bigger
Oh,
set of
okay.
under
Yeah, that
grips.
makes sense.
And I mean, in a general way too, like I think that all the stuff that the guys over the last couple of years that I've seen, and I'm outside looking in a lot of the times, but I mean, you got, Scott Graham did some work on the, what was it, the Kraken Nitro, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, he designed it, yeah.
Just stuff like that, and was who did the logo? Bobby Watts, or who was that?
Kyle Dahl.
No.
Kyle
Kyle
Dahl,
Dahl.
right? Yeah, and that's what's cool about the hobby, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah. People deciding this should exist and then it shows up.
Right.
Right.
Where else
No, I
can
think
you?
it's cool.
Where else do
Yeah.
you see that? You really don't see that too many other places, because it's either way too beyond somebody's range to do that, and no, it's just great. It's great that you guys are taking initiative and doing something like that.
I think one of the cool parts about this conversion is that besides like the side frame and maybe some spacers, like you're saying, this is like off the shelf, ordered from Goblin Helicopters, ordered from BK Hobbies, Iaen, doesn't matter, Heli Direct. like these are part numbers you can order today and replace. Like
Yeah.
like let's say for my gaser conversion, right? Like my gaser conversion, like I'd have to go back to Kerry to get that. Like, there's only one source. If he's out of it or he hasn't cut frames or, like JC Design's out of it or stops making it, like that's it, So I do like that there is this like this additional flexibility you have with this helicopter. Plus, with the updated, not updated, with the bigger shafts and bearings, you're gonna have to do less maintenance on the helicopter as well. And we all know maintenance,
Maintenance sucks.
Yeah, maintenance sucks, right? Like especially if you're like a type of person that gets decent amount of flights in and doesn't crash, then maintenance becomes more of a thing for you because you have to like after a certain amount of flights check your stuff and make sure things aren't falling apart. Maybe for the other folks that crash a lot, they just replace it when they crash, like because it's often enough, so it doesn't have to,
That's me.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was nice with the black nitro. I mean, that's probably my most abused helicopter. But as much times as I've crashed it, ran into things, dirt, ground, everything that I've done to that thing, I don't think I've bent the main shaft or a spindle yet. It's solid, and having the 12 millimeter main shaft and the 8 mil spindle it makes a huge difference.
It does.
So, I mean, it was kind of a no-brainer to go with the electric components. The boom, you don't have to buy a carbon boom. You can stick to the cheaper aluminum boom that they have for it. I mean, if you really want to go carbon, you can get the KSC now.
Plus all the color options too, right? For the folks that like to have like, I think the picture behind you, if that had like an orange boom, like that'd be great for me. Like I don't need the canopy, and I don't really need the canopy now, but I do like the difference of having like the front and back to have a little difference when I'm like pirouetting. So
sure.
So yeah, that's cool too. Like you have all those stock options from Goblin for that.
And then you can also still get the like the 3D printed frames that what's his name is doing.
Rob Cherry.
Rob Cherry, yep. And that would
throw
fit.
those on.
Yeah,
right?
you would get the Nitro version.
Nitro, yeah.
Because it's the Nitro lower frames, and everything would line up just the same.
Nice.
Yeah, it's also neat that you're able to do everything with just some carbon. Like you don't have to have custom CNC parts in the clutch or any of that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it's
that was
all just off the shelf, so that's really nice as well.
That was a big part of this actually happening. Is like the more custom parts, the less likely it ever goes anywhere.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just more work for you as far as the design work and doing the R&D, right? Like cutting a set of frames is one thing, but like if you have to do aluminum blocks or change transmission blocks and things, that's a lot of R&D and a lot of engineering work that, to be honest, time.
Well, and just getting it done, like having a CNC
just
to do it.
The amount of time it takes to design all that and everything, and it's just
you guys seen the Nitro kit for the Spectre V1, right? That Chopsy did.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see the kit, but like I've seen what it looks like.
That was a lot of work.
There's a lot of custom bits in there. Like his entire clutch stack is custom. His movements are custom. It's there's a lot in that.
Yeah,
I think like the last time he crashed it was like the last time it flew. Like it takes him a while to rebuild and stuff now.
Yeah, and it's awesome. But then like if you had something like that and he's not doing parts or something, then you're just kind of screwed.
Right.
Yeah.
Where I mean, if it's carbon, I kind of feel like most people have the ability to copy or make something, down the road if they really had to out of carbon. Whereas very few people can have the ability or the resources to have aluminum CNC. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah,
I commend Chopsy for designing and actually producing that kit. That was the amount of work that he put into that was just ungodly.
Is he actually like selling the kit? Like I didn't know.
I think he sold a handful of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but I don't know that he's making any more just because of the amount of effort that goes into. Like I think it's mostly the clutch on that, the clutch stack on it, because it's all there's a lot of machining to get a clutch bell
Spacing
like
and
that.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of his parts are off the shelf parts. Like the
Yeah.
clutch bell, everything he's completely like designed and cut and made CNC. So yeah, I can't imagine that work. That's crazy.
Yeah.
He did show interest in the frames for the Raw.
Nice.
So
Yeah, awesome. All right, you have any other questions, guys, about this?
Yeah, but then I forgot them.
Damn it, Andy.
So when is this going to be available for someone to contact you and order something? I mean,
I'm hoping soon.
You'll see it soon. It's almost
Yeah.
ready.
So I need to cut one more set of frames to make sure I have everything lined up correct, and then
Mm-hmm.
get a proof set back from RJX
Mm-hmm.
to make sure it matches what I gave them, and then it'll be ready.
All right, cool.
Are you gonna do like a first run, do pre-orders? Like, what are you thinking your first batch might look like from RJX?
I have no idea. I need to actually
And
talk
then
to
the pricing,
RJX
I
and see
guess.
like what that ordering process looks like. You know,
Yeah.
see how it's gonna work.
So
Cool.
I guess when that time hits, you'll let me know and we'll put it in the news and announcements.
Yeah.
Dan's ready. Start bugging him.
Yeah. No, I'll let people know once I know, what it's actually gonna cost.
Yeah.
Go up to a fun fly on the East Coast and tell them you want some frames.
Yeah.
Mhm.
oh yeah, Steve, you're gonna be at a chill out, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, you can take a pull on the HD. I think
Yes,
you'll like
sir.
it. I think you'll like it.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm down.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait. You're using a Jetty, right?
Yeah.
You can fly mine with Futaba instead if you want.
You might as well
Okay.
get used to that 16IZ.
I know.
You got one sitting there. You
I
got.
know. By the way, I have both of those.
Hey Steve, I'm gonna warn you. I've flown his 16IZ.
Uh-huh.
Like if you just breathe on his collector stick,
Ooh.
it'll drop. Like
Oh boy.
one of
just
those
drop.
One
I
of
don't
those
run a lot of stick.
floppy stick guys.
That's
huh?
how
Yeah.
Rybert had his setup. It was very.
But then like I ended up flying and I was like, yeah, this is uncomfortable. I ended up giving the controls back to him, and
Yeah.
he looked at it and he looked at Jay and he was like, here, Jay, you want to fly it? And then Jay started flying it, and he just plowed it in.
Oh,
no.
Oh,
He put the tail push rod went through the fuel tank.
Oh no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why I had a spare set of parts to go on the HD,
There you go.
because it didn't get any of
The front part, right?
the front part. It's all like the tail.
Mhm.
So it worked
Awesome.
out.
That's cool.
All right. Sweet. All right. Let's do the top 10 shotgun round for.
All right.
I'm gonna sit this one out. I'll let you guys ask these questions.
I want to
Alright.
go second.
I'll go first.
Oh, where are the questions?
Ian disappeared.
Figures.
I'm an idiot. No, okay, there they are. I had to wait for my shit to update.
All right. Dan, pinch your thumb.
Thumb, but a kind of hybrid.
Okay.
Okay. Nitro or electric?
Nitro.
Oh man, I really thought I had a different answer to that.
Yeah. It's a surprise to most people.
I already knew the answer to that because when you listed off your fleet, you listed like 11 nitros and 1 electric.
Yeah, that's about right.
All right. 500 and below or 550 or bigger?
700.
Yeah. We all knew that answer.
All right, Dan. When was the last time you flew a fly bar?
When I blew up the engine in my flybar at the fall pole at RCHO.
Okay.
Cool. Sport or 3D?
3D.
Strap on or strap off?
Strap.
Let's Let's see. Coreless or brushless servos?
I think everything I have is brushless.
Okay. Fuselage style or pod and boom?
Pod and boom.
Low head speed or all the head speed?
All the head speed.
Yes.
At least on Nitro.
Okay,
Nice.
Dan. And the last question is IRCHA or smaller events?
Smaller events.
Nice.
We should just change that to IRCHA or IRCHO.
Right. Didn't I say that?
Aw.
You're going to get people in trouble with that.
I said that like 6 episodes ago, I think.
That's what it should be now.
We should add for Dan daylight or nighttime.
yeah. Yeah.
The less you can see, the better.
Canopy on, canopy off.
I keep talking about that
Canopy.
because the guy
What's a
blew me
canopy?
away when he was flying at night. No canopy. I mean, just barely could see the receiver LED.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, it was like pretty much night. It was like dusk, but
Dusk, yeah.
I couldn't see it.
I saw him do that at Dragonfly once. I'm like, how do
I
you
think
see
that's when I
that?
met Tom.
Yep.
He's like, I can see the
Dragon.
Neo light. I was like, oh, okay.
Right.
You got the Neo light on one side and you got the glow igniter light on the other, so you can tell which way it's facing.
Right.
Damn.
I think he's a bat or something. I don't know. He's got some kind of night vision.
You need the sound from the Nitro to tell where it is.
You can
I
tell
mean, he
from
did
the tone whether it's pipe in or pipe out.
Yeah.
He did a flight over the pond at Extravaganza, and it
Oh
was
my
just
god.
completely smoked out, and I couldn't see the
Couldn't
helicopter.
see it.
I don't know how
I
he
couldn't
was
see
seeing it.
I couldn't see it either.
There's 1-2 moments. It was like, whoa. It was right there. I was like, oh, yep. Now I saw it.
I have to go into
Yeah.
big air every once in a while to let it clear out.
But then you're like up there, but like we can't see it either.
Well, you just hold the elevator; it'll come back.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. Shall we move it on?
Sure.
All right.
Mhm.
Iaen's tech tip.
All right. For this week's tech tip, I actually just picked them up today and kind of started putting stuff in them, but I decided to pick up some of the Sterilite, the shoebox containers. That way I can kind of start organizing some of my spare parts, because right now I've got those plastic drawers that you can get at like Walmart, and pretty much all of my spare parts are at the bottom of like a couple of those drawers. So it's like just to try to organize them out so I can know exactly where everything is. I decided to pick up some of those, and Satinder was the one that kind of turned me onto that idea, because he's got shelves, and he has all of his shoebox containers on the shelves. The ones that I picked up today are the 6-quart shoebox containers. It doesn't have the locking lid. The lid just snaps on there. Nothing big. I think I paid maybe like $3 or $4 each. My idea is to not only put like spare parts in there for each individual model, but power setups and stuff for future models that I'm going to be building as well. And when it comes to like the bigger machines, obviously they've got multiple different sizes, ranging from like the 6-quart, I believe, up to like 20-something quarts. I didn't really look too much into it today. It's like I've been running all over, and I've been busy with work and all that. So that's really the only tech tip I've got for today.
So you put your shit in boxes? Is that your tech tip?
Yeah.
Hey,
It's
I like the boxes. I have one of those full of blown up nitro motors.
Nice.
nice.
I got a box for OS motors. I use something like that, but I use the ones that have like the locking tops that also are like stackable. Like the top itself has like a base that can like stack for the next one. The one I have for like my certain like 700s are huge though, because like to fit like a frame sight in there. What I've actually started to do is just put them on the wall. Like I have not a wall, but a shelf, I guess, like a storage shelf up top on my garage. And I just put a whole bunch of row of hooks, and I just hook all my parts on there. Because they all, like the Goblin parts especially, they all come in like little baggies, like, to the paper, the cardboard things to hook them on. So yeah, I just hook them up there. At least new parts.
Yeah,
Like-
right. And it's like I don't have a garage or anything like that, so it's like I kind of gotta settle for
No, do
something
what you got,
different. But as far as like booms and stuff like that, anytime I've gotten like spare blades while I was at the old house, I hung them up downstairs in the basement, on the wall or whatnot. But like here, I had to figure out something. I like everything else like that. I've got like kind of a storage area that I have
I have
like boxes
blade
and stuff in.
bag,
Yes.
and then you just hang the blade back up. That's what I do now. I put
Get
all
you
my
the
blades in
blade.
there.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, and then you put that blade bag, and it
Yeah.
has like a nice handle on top. Just hook it right onto
A
hook,
random
and,
heli
yeah.
blade bag.
Yep.
It's a nice piece of kit.
Yep.
It really is.
You can-
That's
you
something
can
you
put,
should
like,
recommend.
Yeah,
Yep.
you can put like 4 sets of blades and like
Mhm.
how many tail blades
Tons
in
of
there because of
tail.
both side.
Yeah,
It's
both
like
sides.
8 sets
think
of tail
6.
blades or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You have a ton of room. It's really convenient.
You get a
Mhm.
ton of blades in that. I
Yeah.
like the boxes because I can just chuck them all in the trailer to bring them to do events with me.
Mhm.
Hell yes. And it doesn't really take up a whole lot of room unless it's like, that's all tail booms, blades. I mean, that stuff, that's going to take up room anyway.
Yeah.
But the small stuff, definitely.
Yeah.
One thing I used to do with the boxes was print out labels, and then I was like, this is stupid because, you're always changing stuff. And what I use now is just that blue painter's tape and a Sharpie, man. Little piece of that
Yeah.
on the front and write on what's in the box. Done.
Sharpie on the lid with what brand of parts are in it. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
go.
I usually put stickers of the brand or something. And sometimes I'll write on the box stuff. I don't care.
Yeah. I was talking with Sintender one night. It was one of those, it just kind of strayed away from like Discord, and we were just like talking on like Facebook Messenger, and he was showing me like his setup. He's got one of those plastic, shop shelves that you can find, the Stanley, kind of shelves you find at like Walmart. And he's got all of his just stacked up on there. He can just look right in there and see exactly what he's got. And of course his containers, it's got the where you can see clean through it and see what is exactly in there, and he just grabs it. I mean, he doesn't even have it labeled. And it's like whenever he gets in like an airframe, he breaks it all down and puts it in those containers. So it's like he's got everything right where he needs it, and he's actually got quite the setup as far as his shop area.
Nice. I just walk into Shannon's trailer.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, I need one of these.
Yep.
Awesome.
Cool.
All right. Let's move to news and announcements.
All right, let's do some news.
And
Announcements.
Okay, what do we got here?
Well, we've been talking about the chill out. I think we mentioned it last week or the week before, but it's next week, the 25th through the 27th.
Yes.
And they've been working on the field, making improvements. They've got another shelter now, and they've closed in part of it. Looks like they're adding lights. There'll be heat in there. Should be a good time.
Yep.
Oh,
If
yeah.
you
Pretty good so far.
if you have a trailer you're planning to bring, make sure you have talked to Leslie already.
Yeah, if you haven't talked to
Yeah.
Leslie, then don't bring a
it.
trailer.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it is not a big field, and they're trying to make sure there's space for everybody.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yep. I think maybe everyone doesn't know, but Chill Out is at the world famous RCHO field, 604 Three Sisters Road, Knightdale, North Carolina.
Disneyland.
They have a Facebook page. You can check it out. It's cool. It's a really great club. Good folks.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they've done a lot for that field.
They have.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
I remember the first time I went down there and like how much smaller the field actually was, especially on the right side, because they cut all that down. Like they did a lot of the parking lot was a lot bigger now. Like they've made improvements for sure.
Yeah.
You know, big generator and all this other stuff, additional lighting and stuff. So slowly but surely, Jay and the guys at RCHO are really making improvements. The guys and
Yeah.
gals.
Yeah, and that's the other thing you should mention. Get to meet Eric Shue and Jay Treadway.
It's true.
Yeah.
And Dan Murnane and Tom
Dan?
Shin.
Tom Shin.
You know, all these guys.
You don't want to scare people away.
Well, if I wanted to scare people away, I'd say Rob Cole will be there.
Yeah, Robbie, whatever. Robin
say
and
that.
Erica might be there as well.
Yeah, you never know.
Never know. Things happen at our stage show.
I'll be there, and that's kind of scary.
That is scary.
See me walking around at night, and they're like, oh, shit, it's a Sasquatch.
Oh, shit. Should we call somebody? It's loose. No, that's just
me.
Andy.
But should we call somebody?
Somebody put him
Still
back in
we
the
should
Yeah,
cage.
should we still call someone?
He get out of his cage again.
Awesome.
So we saw a preview of a new Diablo Signature Edition.
Nice.
It said the first limited production will be released within 2 weeks.
Wow. I didn't even really see much news about this. Even
I haven't seen any news. I see a post on Facebook from Chuck Burt, which is Peak Aircraft, which is the North American distributor for minicopter or Diablos. He says this thing will have the option for a 5th servo. Everybody's trying to guess what it could be for. And I searched through and nobody could figure it out. He finally said what it was. It will have the option for a friction brake for the main rotor for scale or I assume large sizes like 800 and up type situations.
I thought it was going to have retracts.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. So what's the market like? He's marketing towards like scale helis or big helis? Like even an 800, do you need a brake to slow down like a 3D style 800 heli? You know?
I don't know. I don't know why you would.
Like did
Maybe
the
it's for
Velos
people who,
880 have a brake system? I don't understand why.
I usually just walk up and let my shin stop it.
Maybe it's
Yeah,
for
or-
people who don't want to lean over an 800.
You just do that weird, lean over and get the head button.
Well, not everybody has a 7-foot reach like you do, Dan.
Exactly. So some people
there's
need that brake to slow the
I
blades down.
mean,
Well,
I
not
probably got
everybody
like a
has
good
handbrake
3.5
either.
feet, and I can do it. So I'm sure other people can.
Yeah, last time I tried that with my foot and I slipped and it wasn't good.
There you go.
I don't know.
Didn't
I
work
don't
out
think.
well.
Yeah, it really doesn't take that long for blades to slow down, especially if you apply a full pitch one way or the other.
Mm-hmm.
But nonetheless, maybe I don't know. I'm sure there's an application for it.
Maybe it's for magnificent blade stops.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Nick Maxwell don't fly for Diablo no more though.
They're trying to tempt him back.
But he don't need that. He can do it on his own.
Yeah. Yeah.
Was that the Nick Maxwell button or something? Like they were gonna market it as like, do the blade stops to Nick Maxwell to
Maybe.
stop it real quick and spool it back up.
I'm sure there's some other changes on this. I'm not familiar enough with them to know just from looking at the picture.
The biggest one I see is they changed the boom mount and took the boom supports off it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
then there's some tweaks
Not
with the
bad,
head geometry.
Okay.
So the grip arms are going to be a 1-to-1 ratio with the swash and everything now. So
Okay.
Cool.
So the last time I talked to Chuck, he told me about this, and I think to help drop production time,
Mm-hmm.
I think they're gonna not anodize the head black. It's gonna be raw aluminum.
Okay.
And I
That's
think
fine.
they're moving away from the peak gear. If I remember right, because
you get an option now.
okay,
For the SE.
yeah.
So
The
I
last
think
time
there's a couple cases where you'd want the peak, but most
Yeah.
people just want the Delrin.
the last time I talked to Chuck, he basically said that the anodizing and the peak gear were the two major things that held up like completing kits and shipping them out in a timely manner. And he said it would cut down on the production time doing away with those two.
So for idiots like me and Iaen, what are peak gear exactly?
Peak is a type
That-
of plastic.
Okay.
It's
More expensive.
like it's more expensive than Delrin, but it has like higher tensile strength and impact resistance and heat resistance. I think is the
Temperature,
big thing.
That's a big one, yeah.
So on like the Diablo speed, the peak gear was important because you're running, 18,000
speed.
RPM and
Mm-hmm.
20 kilowatts through it, so it would just melt the Delrin, but the peak gear holds up to it.
Right. Okay. There's a different type of plastic.
Yep. Fancy, expensive plastic.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah. So, keep your eyes out for that.
Yeah.
Looks cool. Looks like they've changed the frames a little bit, opened it up so you can see what's inside. So mud can get inside easier.
Pack it full of mud. Awesome. All right. What else do we got?
I don't have anything else. And I actually put effort into looking this week, so I don't know what's going on.
I think it's just slow time of year.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Come springtime, I think we're gonna start hearing more things buzz popping.
Yeah.
There's some buzz popping about some big announcement Maniac's gonna be doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and they're doing some giveaway with that those
Oh yeah. Can you
big news thing.
fill us in on that or anything? You got any news about that?
I don't know the news, but I know that they're doing a giveaway that if you guess, there's 2 new things that's happening. And if you guess one of them, you get entered for a bag, like one of their lipo safe bags.
Yeah.
Or if you guess both of them, then you get entered in for a 12S battery pack.
Okay. Where do you
Or
go to
2
enter
success.
this or
It's gonna
find
be
out about it?
Yeah, it's on Maniacs USA's Facebook page. You gotta like their post about it and stuff. So go look on their Facebook page
Okay,
and
cool.
it should show up there. But yeah. So see. All right, let's move it up. What's next for you in the hobby? Who wants to go?
What's next for me?
What's next for you, Andy?
Well, I want to give a big shout out. I mentioned those bump tags I got, and Brandon Lee had put this post on Facebook with the link to JAG RC, JAG-RC.com. And our buddies John Titus and Jimmy Tate both tagged me in this post, like almost at the same time. I guess they had listened and knew I was looking for these.
Mm-hmm.
So big shout out to those guys for giving me the lead on those bump tags. As far as what I'm doing, like I said at the beginning of the show, I got to get the camper ready. I got to finish building this heli. I don't think I'll fly. I might fly. Man, today was beautiful. If I wasn't so busy, it was a beautiful day to fly. It's like 60 degrees, no wind, full sun.
Nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful, and I was in a tractor the whole time. But anyway, yeah, is what it is. So that's all I'm in is full prep mode for next week. Get to chill out.
Yeah.
What about you, Steve?
Me, let's see. Yeah, I plan on flying this weekend, but I don't know. I think the wife has some plans for this weekend. We'll see. But the plans may or may not include me. If they do include me, I might not go flying. But if they don't, that means all I'm going to do this weekend is go flying. So we'll see which way it goes. But other than that, I'm waiting for my parts for the Raw. Got to give it up to Kyle. # card on file. I put that order in on. So what day was it? Okay, so it happened Sunday. I put that order in Sunday night. Monday morning at 9:30, I get a notification from my bank saying your BK order has been processed for blah 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 dollars. I'm like, cool, my order's in. Yeah,
Nice.
he just rang it up and so I should be getting those parts hopefully this week.
Cool.
Hopefully by the time this podcast comes out, so I can fix my heli for the weekend. If not, I have my black nitro I can bust out, or I still have to work on the 580. So yeah, no, really the black nitro is the only other nitro I have. So yeah, I need to get some. I need to get that going. Maybe I'll strip down the 580 while I'm at it, since like I said, I only have one flying nitro, and I don't like that. Not a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's about it. Let's see. What about you, Kevin?
I got 2 weekend days coming up that actually look pretty good. Saturday and Sunday.
Cool.
like we play both kinds of we play both kinds of music, country and westerns. I got both days coming up, Saturday and Sunday. And yeah, they both look good. So I might go flying 1 day, 2 days, who knows? We'll see.
Cool.
I also might start putting together that other 690 that Rob sent me. Not sure. We'll see.
Might as well.
Yeah.
Or at least go over it and maybe rebuild everything in components or module based,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea where you could just grab, like if you crash yours, you can just grab a tail or grab a head or grab whatever.
Main shaft, everything.
Yeah, just
pop right on.
have it back together really quickly.
Yep. And that's about it, man. Maybe print something. I don't know.
Cool.
What about you, Ian?
Let's see. Gonna be on Discord as always. And then the weather's supposed to be kind of crappy for like the next couple days, and then it's supposed to improve like closer to the weekend. So I'm hoping that it stays like where they're forecasting it as far as Saturday and Sunday. I think they're talking like 40s, 50s. So I'm gonna get to the field and fly on my only day off this week, other than today. I was initially going to plan for like Friday and Saturday off. That way I can get 2 days and just chill, get a few things done around the house or, just kind of relax a little while. No. So I went ahead and signed back up for Friday, and then I'm still taking Saturday off. Other than that, there's nothing really special going on over here. I'm going to try to get some flights in though.
All right.
Sweet.
Cool.
Right. What about you, Dan?
Yeah, so gonna be trying to keep pushing forward, getting the NitrawHD wrapped up, and then chill out next week.
Yep. What days you guys showing up for the chill out?
Probably Wednesday night.
Okay. Sweet. How about you, Tom?
I'll probably be coming in like Thursday night.
Okay.
Well,
Either
I was,
Thursday night or Friday morning. One of the two.
I was going to go Thursday morning, but if Dan's going Wednesday night, I'm going to go Wednesday morning so he doesn't get my spot.
Oh, it's going to be a race for the RV spots. Awesome. All right. Yeah, I should be there Thursday, so it will definitely get chill Thursday, do some flights.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Cool. What about you, Tom? What's before your chill out? What do you got going?
I'm probably going to just not mess with helis and save my crashes for chill out. I'd hate to have to rush order parts to try and slap it all back together.
You really shouldn't fly the weekend before a fun fly.
Yeah, don't be Shaggy.
Yeah.
Or Alex Fredrickson.
Don't be either one of those guys for many reasons, but
is he the first one to crash the 580 Raw?
As far as I know, yes. He's the first I've heard.
I think he buried it pretty good too.
Yeah. He's going to be waiting a little bit for parts as well.
Ouch.
Right before your local club's fun fly too. And that was a good pilot, man. He can fly.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. All right. Is that all of us, right?
That's
I
it.
guess.
Okay. Listener pipeline.
All right, we have a couple. Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, right?
Do I need to hold my ears?
No.
Yeah, maybe. Might help if I unmuted the channel.
Okay.
Yeah, debatable.
So I was listening to you guys' latest episode here, and there's one thing that I think you didn't mention on the help stuff. The one thing that bothers me the most is when you spend so much time setting up somebody's transmitter, and then you hand it back to them, everything's just like they want it, blah, 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 and you walk away, 5 minutes later, they're back in there. You can hear them beeping, scrolling through everything, changing the settings that you just went through. Anyway, burns me up. You guys be good.
Yeah, I think that was Cliff.
Thanks, Cliff.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Curious who did that to him.
That's like those people that ask you a question, and then when you start to answer it, they walk away from you. That's when you go, well, what the hell did you ask me for? That's when you're like, well, what the hell did you ask me to change anything for?
I mean,
you're just going to change it back.
it's the same vein, but I don't know if we talked about it last week or not. But somebody asks you something and you give them excellent advice, and then they just go and do exactly opposite what you said. And
You
then
start
blow their
answering
shit
the
up, and they're
question.
like, "Well, I tried to tell you."
You start answering the question, and they start arguing with you.
Yeah.
They're
Like,
not looking
okay,
for
just
the
do-
answer.
Yeah.
They're looking for confirmation of their answer.
Right.
That's what they're
Right.
looking for. Right.
Like,
But sometimes they're completely wrong.
Yeah, but they don't care. They want confirmation of their
Right.
answer. So you telling them something that's contradictory to what they say.
Yeah,
so they're
that's
like,
true.
oh well, fuck you. You don't know your shit, and they start walking away.
All right, go do it, dude.
Yeah.
all,
And
all
then
I
they
got,
take off
I'm
and-
going to go hide behind these cars. You go do
Yeah.
whatever.
I got my cousin Vinny in my head when he's like, don't shake your head. I'm not done yet. That's exactly that.
All right, let's see what this other one's about.
Okay.
Hey, y'all.
Oh my God.
Hey, in the friendly words of Andy and Minnie Pearl, howdy. First time caller, guaranteed not to be a listener. Calling from a secure location in the deep south, south of Georgia, but not quite Frank Mordiejo south. A few of my airplane guys in the local field were talking about your podcast. I love me some helicopters, but I never quite heard of the heliheads before now. So, hey, cheers to you. Got to get a few things off my chest, boys. I hear there's an uprising in our great nation where good men are arming themselves with blades and mobilizing to, well, they call it the chill out. It may not be too late at this point to say cease and desist. Got to call a few boys out on this uprising before things get out of hand. Jay Treadway, what are you thinking, man? The event meister organizing this assembly of good men gone frozen. Scott Graham, Scott, what are you thinking, man? Stop it. For the love of the South, do the right thing, boys. Call it off while you still can. Eric Shue, you know, pour me a shot of tequila, bartender Eric. Use your southern charisma, man, and stop this madness. Cliff Lewis, you'll probably make this a family affair and bring your lovely, impressionable daughter. No, Cliff, no, say it isn't so. Y'all got me so riled up. It's as cold as an ugly witch's ass in February in North Carolina. Rodney Clay, another good, upstanding American. What are you thinking, my good man? Rodney, call it off, man. Tell these guys, tell them you just can't go through with it. And last but not least, imitated but never duplicated, Tom Shin. Tom, use your influence, man, with these guys and say, let's just move the chill out to say, June.
June.
What the hell, man?
Yeah, I think that's who that was.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
What
That's,
the
that's
hell,
all,
man?
that's
a
all I've
remix
got
going.
for that one. That was
Caller
something.
forgot that this country was born on revolution. So, yeah. All right.
Wow.
That was a voicemail.
From Larry the Cable Guy.
I don't know.
All right. Is that it?
Yes, that is it.
Okay. All right. Before we do the wrap up, let's see. If folks want to contact you, Dan, be like, I want to put my name on a list. Here's PayPal. Here's my money.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do this.
Yeah, shoot me a message on Facebook.
Dan Murnane.
Dan Murnane. You're in the Hangout too, I think.
Yeah.
You're in all the places.
Friend requests I tend to just ignore unless I've actually met the person and remember meeting the person, but shoot me a message request, I'll see it.
Cool. All right. How about you, Tom?
Facebook would be the easiest way. Messenger.
Mhm.
I think
Yeah.
I'm on pretty much all of the groups. I think so.
Post how much you hate Nitro on Nitro Nation, and you'll
Yeah.
get these two guys.
I was just about to say we haven't really talked about it, but these are two of, I don't know, the biggest Nitro gurus that I personally know. So if you have Nitro questions, I'm sure they could help you out.
I can tell you a lot of ways to blow up an engine.
They can tell you what not to do.
21 clicks lean.
Yeah.
There you go. Awesome. All right.
Cool. Thanks for coming on, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for having
Yeah,
us.
thanks, guys.
It was fun.
Coming on. Okay, time to wrap it up.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Facebook likes, we're at 1,396. That is plus 0 new likes this week. Sweet. Let's move it on to Facebook comments. What do we have there?
Oh, Facebook comments are equally as lame.
Nice.
There are none on the last episode.
Oof.
But I do have to call out a dude, Doug Witchin. I love that last name. Pretty awesome. Ian posted, I heard stickers add skill. Let's see where you put all your stickers. And I think we commented on Rowdy Namiria and Greg Ringel. But Doug actually posted a picture of, and this is the way to get our attention, a picture of his Oxy 5 with a sticker on it, a Freefall RC podcast sticker, and our podcast, in the background, the live feed or the YouTube feed or the recorded feed, of all of our pretty faces.
Oh yeah, did I forget to tell you guys that I record video and I release this on YouTube? That's what you, Tom and Dan, yeah.
So I wanted to say thanks, Doug, for posting that.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, that's it. Facebook listener post then?
Sure.
Okay, what do we got?
Are you asking me?
I don't know. I'm asking
I
somebody.
don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I'm looking, and it looks like we do not have anything. The last thing's still Steve Shaw.
Yeah.
All right.
So does that mean Friday release?
Yeah.
Now that you mention it.
Saturday morning.
Feel like President's Day. One day. Look, what the hell? Okay. Now what do we got next? Website comments.
We get any?
Yeah, we don't have any new website comments, I don't believe. Steve, I should shout out Stephen Hoover as well, was the listener that emailed me, and we were going back and forth about the bump tags. So thanks, Stephen. I really do appreciate that. But no email.
Okay.
All right. People Podbean then.
People Podbean did save us this week. We got a bunch of things that were going on Podbean.
Did some dude named Tom Shin like our show 310 times?
I didn't see it in the last 7 days.
I wanted to do it like 20 times, Tom. They wouldn't let me. They told me I had to stop after like 6 or 7.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I want to just keep going.
It's just too much clicking. Tom's finger broke.
Do that Family Guy thing where you do a joke till it's not funny, but you just keep going till it gets funny again. You know?
It's kind of roll of the dice whether that happens, though.
Yeah, but either way, I would be entertained. So
fair enough.
All right, so Great Eagle Jr. liked episode 118, Kyle Stacy. And he also liked episode 312, You Don't Have to Help, but It Helps. And so did Alan Jenkins, and so did James Kringle. What a nice Christmassy name that is, James Kringle. I don't know why, but very, very Christmassy. Alan Jenkins also liked episode 311, Indecent Exposure with Jordan McFarlane. Hellyman liked episode 306, end of 2021, Are We There Yet? And 307, Here We Go Again. And WFAT MUTV started following us.
Awesome.
Fat Motive. Fat Motive? I don't know.
Fat Motive. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Podbean comments. Now, I think a little while ago, I was like, I haven't heard from Grey Eagle in a while. How I miss those days. All right, here we go. 4 days ago, Grey Eagle Jr. Help, hiya, karate chopper. Fool the gold that holds the foe. $, $, Please think of the achievement. And that's to episode 312. You don't have to help, but it helps. And then respond to that episode again. One can only know applying reading or unable read of the Thime Poki de Hey Alexa for your Amazon book back W. I don't know. And then he replies to himself. So it says, reply at Grey Eagle Jr. Weight is dead only if you lie down. Hand me down lazy. Uncertainty unacceptable. Only the thorn of wrist action of her pleasure will rotary noises in your basements.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. 4 days ago again. I'm going to have to use a pen to count out how many times I have to say this. Call Stacy, 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 Beetlejuice, 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 Shaggy, 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 Shaggy.
Nice.
Well done.
What the hell, man?
What the hell, man?
Yeah. And that was the episode 118. Call Stacy, call Stacy, call Stacy.
Wow.
And then 4 days ago, I guess he abridged himself to now Kyle, Beetle, Shaggy C. What that means. Okay, and 2 hours ago, so just recent, episode 79 for Legendary Burt Camera. Swing that hammer, camera. Yeah, and that's all. That's all he wrote. That's all the Eagle wrote. Thank God. Okay.
Wasn't that enough?
Yeah.
Damn.
Seriously. Okay. Do we have any iTunes reviews?
No.
All right,
Nothing
cool.
on iTunes.
What the hell, man?
Sweet. Drop us
Where's
an
our
iTunes
iTunes?
review. We'll read it, possibly. Email us Facebook. Yeah, all that fun stuff. Check out fellow podcasters, Heliheads, Stellar Rotor, Skids Up, Inverted, all them fun people. I don't know if anyone else is doing them, but thanks to all listeners. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Tom, for coming on our show. Appreciate
Thanks, guys.
your time. Be our guys, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Hey, you should talk. Andy really likes me to talk at the end.
What? And likes it?
Oh,
What happened?
what happened?
What the hell, man?
What the hell, man?
He's gonna edit over it anyways.
Not for my tape. I take this live feed and put in a video.
What happened, Andy?
I think he's mad because
You
Steve
couldn't
said
hear it, could you? I just dropped the thing. It's still worked on the board here.
Yeah, it's not gonna be on the YouTube channel though, but whatever.
Oh,
Care about
As
that.
long as you say so.
nice.
Oh man.
oh man.